Okay, so we were just talking just a moment ago, and I think it's probably been a year or so since we last spoke. Last time you had done a like a drive-up concert because of the pandemic. At that point in time, no one was doing concerts. So you had done one with cars where people drive up, which was really cool. And you were just telling me, I think now that you just finished doing a normal concert again, right? So you're back out on the touring circuit now?
Yes, actually, yeah, not quite but we did a couple of shows. They were actually really special as well. It wasn't drive-in shows, but it was beach chair concerts. It's like when people sit in chairs and you can sit there with two people and, you can have a beer, everything. You can, headbang, dance around, scream and shout, standing. Usually people were standing, but there was like a little bit, more intimate, like the drive-in shows, but still not a normal one. But the first normal one was last weekend, and it was in Belgium, the Alcatraz Festival, and it felt like the good old days, and it was so awesome. And yeah, it was, it was great. It was great. We all had a great time. The fans were on fire, and everybody was so happy. And and I think now everybody can appreciate it even more, because for such a long time, you couldn't do what you wanted to do, and now it seems like it's getting better. So, but it was actually good practice. Like all these drive-in shows, beach chair concerts. It's like you have to work 10 times harder to reach the people to make up for the distance and stuff. But it was good. It was great.
So I bet that was quite a rush to get up in front of an audience again and have pretty much a normal, regular concert again. So I'm sure that was,
and it got
you've been isolated too, I assume, for the most part. So
yeah. But actually, I was always, trying to keep busy, when we weren't on tour. I was always going back into the studio, doing stuff, working on the new album, working on, the best of last November, the Magic Diamonds, and then this year, working on the Triumph and Agony live album. So I always had, good spirits, good vibes, and, oh, man, it was so great. But, of course, I was ready to do a normal concert. There's nothing like it.
So tell me about the live album. I've been listening to it. It's great. Your voice is phenomenal still. Sounds awesome. So tell me about recording this concert, Triumph and Agony Live. Did you do this over several concert dates, or is this one particular date, or how did you go about picking what to choose for this?
Actually, we started playing for the first time the whole Triumph and Agony album in its entirety. That was a few years ago, because we wanted to do like a celebration for the 30th anniversary of Triumph and Agony. And so we did a tour in Spain, in America. We played many festivals, like great festivals in Europe, the Grass Pop Festival, Norway Rock, and Sweden Rock. And we recorded pretty much everything, and the Sweden Rock that looked and sounded the best. And then we said, okay, let's do it. So the CD is a mixture between Sweden Rock and the tour we did in Spain, and the Blu-ray that is like Sweden Rock, and then there's a nice documentary. It's like the whole thing is, I think, 90 minutes. And it has many snippets of the past as well, like from 87, 88, the tour with Megadeth we did. And, we squeezed in some bootleg videos as well. I think for the diehard fans, it's really something fun to watch.
Nice. I can't wait to see the Blu-ray. I've only had a chance to listen to the audio, but I really want to see the Blu-ray footage too, because I'm sure it'll take me back too,
yes.
So that time period.
It was going strong, and we did all these great videos, which, oh man, I had the best memories of the Triumph and Agony, or the making of it, and so it was a real treat working on this Triumph and Agony live, and and I think the sound is great. I think it's even nicer than the original because of the fans, the atmosphere, the power, and now it's the 35th anniversary coming up, so So right in time.
Well, so but you changed the set list up a little bit for the live version of this. I think it flows really well.
Start with All We Are, so it's
Was that the original plan for the album, but it got changed when you did the studio album, or was this something you just felt like the flow was better to do the songs in this order for the live?
Original album, when we put All We Are as the first song, we had no idea that it would become such a big song for us and such an anthem. So so now when we play it live, usually it's the last song in the set list, and it would be impossible to start with All We Are. You can't go anywhere, and it's nicer when people are a little, when they had a couple of beers, and singing along, singing their heart out. It's always, it's cool. So we thought, let's start with Touch of Evil. It has a nice, mysterious intro, and then, it's powerful, and, and then, and you feel you're immediately into it. And then I Will Ruins, East Meets West, and all these goodies are coming up. And East Meets West, there was a nice song because I always hopped on the shoulder of my guitar player, Tommy Bowen, and we're still doing it. And I think, that's great. So, so all these things, I know it's 80s style, but I love it, I love it.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's, and it's one of those albums that, I put up there on my classics list of things to, that I always go back to. And of course, especially, All We Are, great track, great closer, by the way. So it really does work out well too. The recording, the sound quality of this is spectacular. I have to say, it really sounds good.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it. You say it. Yeah, I think it came out really good, and we worked on it for 6 months, so it wasn't done like in a day. It was definitely 6 months, day and night, and it had to be we fixed some stuff and all, but the mixer who mixed it, it was great. He was so into it. He was a little bit younger, so he didn't live through the great 80s, but he's totally hooked now, so that's good. And it was such a joy to do all like the footage of the filming. Oh man, that looked so great. And it was so day and night when I was in the studio, and I worked usually all night, or we were finished like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I was outside driving with my car, and the police always stopped me because there was a total lockdown and you were not supposed to be outside. And then I said, what are you doing at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning here? And, and I explained I was working. I said, what are you working at 4 or 5 o'clock? And I said, doing music and stuff. So, and then I showed them the album cover, and, I said, we saw that before and we know it. And then in the end, everybody was, whatever, at one point in their lives, a big metalhead, or their friends were metalheads. So I got stopped a lot, but every time, it was okay. But it was so weird in the studio, like everything was happening. You saw hundreds, thousands of fans, the energy, the atmosphere, and then walking outside or driving outside, nothing. It was like in a zombie movie. It was
like a ghost town outside, right?
Totally. It was scary. Sometimes it was foggy as well, and I thought, oh man, it was really scary to drive. And I was the only one. I felt like I was the only one on this planet, and it was really strange. But so I was always keeping busy in the studio and stuff, and that kept my spirit up high, and and I thought, if we can't go on tour, if we can't play festivals, so you got to work on something, it's worthwhile. And then I always have the fans in the back of my mind, and I think, the fans will probably love it, and so it was great to work on it, and it was one of my favorite records, the Triumph And Agony. I had the best memories. It was such a great time. Everything fell into place, and it was great. And then we just came off the tour with Judas Priest in Europe and in the UK with Wasp. And then we hopped on tour with the legendary Ronnie James Dio in Europe, and that was when Triumph and Agony came out. And in America, it was Megadeth and Sanctuary. And, oh, man, it was like, yeah, it was so unforgettable. And every time you switched on MTV, the All We Are video was, you know, they played it. And,
yeah, it was on nonstop rotation for a while. It was great. Every weekend, if you turned on, you know, MTV, there you were, and it was great.
Yeah.
I love the video too, by the way.
Yeah, the video was cool too, like performing on top of a tour bus. And actually, it really reminded me on our drive-in shows now. And I thought, okay, I did it before, because the story of All We Are of the video was that we were performing on top of a tour bus, and everybody was stuck in their car and, you know, kind of frozen. And then through the magic of metal, through the magic of the music, everybody, you know, came alive and then was rocking out. So that was kind of the story. And the drive-in shows last year looked exactly the same, you know. And sometimes people were crawling out of their cars or sitting on top of their cars and rocking out. It was, yeah, but it's great.
Yeah,
great
I have a vivid memory. Of you know, the bus and everything, and so it's really cool that you could tie that in. You know, to your actual live performance there when everything was so kind of topsy-turvy and upside down with the pandemic. So you are always busy. You know, every time I talk to you, you've got a project going and another one on the way, and you're always, you know, in the middle of something. So recently, all of these albums have been released on your label, your own label. Are you still contractually obligated with any of the other record labels now, or are you exclusively doing everything on your labels now?
Actually, the new album, we're working on a new album as well. I think that will be supposed to be coming out via Nuclear Blast, and in my own label, I can do like all these nice little things on the side, you know, all these special things and stuff, and all these limited editions and picture this, and, you know, like all that old school great stuff. So, but the new album will be, probably with Nuclear Blast, and, so I do all, like, you know, for collectors, for the diehards, you know, that's on my label, and sometimes like some big record companies, they don't even do like these box sets anymore, or the picture discs, or, you know, or singles. It's like, you know, it's all more the streaming and stuff and digital, and so, and I like all that stuff what we used to love. So, you know.
Yeah, I lament not having like you know, larger cover art to look at and liner notes. And things like that. I enjoy, I think, the you know, the ease of having a streaming platform, you know, to listen to the songs on and just have a library you can take with you everywhere. I think that's really cool. But something is lost by not having that actual tangible object, you know, by not having an album cover or a CD cover. So you're right. I think it's very cool that you put these together for the fans, because, you know, I have CDs all over my walls, you know, in frames of stuff that I like, and certainly a lot of us are still collectors of that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty cool that you still manage to give fans kind of what they want.
Yes, and the vinyl record is like marbled. There's always something special, like, and the box sets, they're like, I think they will come out really cool. They're just, as we speak, they're in the making. They're actually, they're these little figurines, like the Warlock is holding me, and like,
that's cool.
So sweet, like, you know, it's probably perfect in your collection when you have all the Kiss figurines, the Kiss dolls, you know, so there's something to put on your shelf.
So there's a Doro figurine coming soon, is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Yeah, it's exactly what you see on the album cover, the original, and the new album cover is a combination between the original paintings and some nice live photos, and the original where the Warlock is holding me, and looking really mean, and that's like, that's the figurines, like both, the Warlock and me, and it's
so is that weird? Is that weird for you to see yourself as a figurine, as a three-dimensional object, or is it, you know, I mean, how do you feel about that?
We had some figurines before, and the problem was they were like, oh man, they could break so easily, and and I had like my fist up, and then the fist was gone, like one time, when you couldn't, it was very, it looked great, but it was very delicate. So now it's like, I think it's probably okay. When it falls down, the head will still be on. But, I told the lady who's painting it, I said, hey, put more makeup on, I like heavy eye makeup, and she said, really? And I said, yeah, you got to do it, so.
I have to say, Doro, you are one of the nicest people in heavy metal that you would ever want to meet. I mean, your PR agent, when he sent this out, and of course I jumped in right away when I saw you were doing interviews again, and I always jump at the chance to get to talk to you again. But that was how he worded it, is if you haven't interviewed Doro before, she's one of the nicest people in metal, and he's absolutely right. You are just a pleasure to talk to. So every time, every time at Excess Rock we get the chance, I jump at it to get to talk to you because you're just full of energy and excited. You're always a great interview because, you can tell you live and breathe what you do. And we've had this discussion before, I think, in prior interviews, where you didn't get married and have children and things because you dedicated yourself to metal. And, Totally. Yeah. It gets even crazier and wilder as we go on.
Well, some people say, I have to break or take a vacation. I never took a vacation in my life, I think. Yeah, no.
Wow.
Maybe
are you always
on?
But maybe you're always on vacation if you're doing what you want to do all the time, in a way.
Absolutely. When you can do what you love, oh man, it's like, and I always have the feeling I can't rest before something isn't done or isn't done perfect. So if a record isn't, mixed yet, and I find no sleep. I have to go right back into it and then see, what's like, how you can do it better, tweak it and stuff. And some people, they have some people, they think it's too much, but I never think it's too much, like when something is coming out and I feel, it's really perfect, and I have the feeling that the fans, they appreciate it, they feel it as well. So I like it, always like, whatever means perfect. I mean, everybody has a different aspect, but sure. I know exactly what I feel and what I think should, how it should sound and stuff. So, sometimes
I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for you. I think as an artist and just that, that level of dedication, too, that you not only put into your craft, but for your fans. I mean, they're there for you and you're there for them. And I think that's just spectacular. I don't think we see that as much sometimes with some of the modern day artists. They sort of come out and feel like, that you're lucky that you got to see them, it's a privilege or whatever. But I know for you, it goes both ways. No, I mean, you really appreciate your fans and your fans appreciate you. And that's just something we don't see a lot nowadays. And so you're really one of the true superstars of the metal genre, and just amazing what you've done. Also, I think for, female singers pushing ahead in bands. I mean, I can't tell you that, the last time that I heard, a new female fronted band come along where the singer did not mention, you as one of their inspirations. In many ways, you're definitely kind of the Judas Priest, the Rob Halford or Dio of metal for women and for everybody. I mean, I'm not laying it out to just gender, but you've definitely been a really cool role model, I think, for a lot of up and coming singers as well.
That is so kind. Thank you so much for these kind words. It makes me, of course, really good and happy and and when other people feel inspired, that's awesome. That's awesome. And even like this last weekend when we played the Alcatraz Festival, there was a little girl crawling up on stage. She was so fast, the security people couldn't hold her back, and she wanted to sing "Oh Yeah" with me, and she was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and I thought, wow, that is dedication. I like that. She had a cool melody.
That's cool.
On it. And then she told me, she said, yeah, I want to become a drummer too. And I said, oh, that's awesome. And yeah, I think 5 or 6 years old. I was like, yeah, that's great. That's great. You know?
So you're inspiring another generation as we speak. Sounds like of metalheads as young as 6.
yeah, absolutely. And in when we play some anthems or for immer, I always see like, you know, the little ones, they are like on top of the dad's or mom's shoulders and stuff, and then, you know, I see how much they're into it, and, you know, and sometimes they sing along every word, like, you know, and they get it, you know, that makes me really, really happy, you know.
Yeah, that's great to see, you know, each generation, you know, parents passing it down. I know I did the same thing with my kids, you know, tried to turn them on to all the great music, you know, that I listen to, and kind of explain, you know, why these people are, you know, why they were so good at what they did and different things. And, you know, we mentioned Dio. Obviously, Dio is high on my list as well. And, you know, I think that there's something to that if you pass that little bit of that history down, you know, to kids, because, and I'm really not knocking, like, you know, I know maybe I'm just old in some ways too, but, you know, newer bands, newer music, I feel like a lot of them do not put on a show per se, or at least not what I'm used to as a show. And people like you are still bringing that. You're still putting on an incredible live show. You give it all you got. You give it the energy. And that's, you know, that's what people go to concerts for, I think. I think they want to go and feel like a giant part of something, you know, and you definitely get that with a DORO show every time.
Yeah. And I like it, you know, I like when we have all the diehard fans in the audience as well, like the diehards. That's so cool. Like, you know, sometimes people that just go to a concert because whatever the artist or the band is in town. But I like when all the dedicated, you know, the soldiers are in town. It's like, and you know, and I tell you, sometimes people that fly all over the world, you know, to see a show, and then I think, oh man, that's great. You know, even in small clubs, and suddenly you see people from whatever, from Australia, or like, what, you know, like, awesome. So, you know, or from America and Canada, when we played here the last couple of shows, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. So I like the people who are as dedicated, and that's cool.
Well, and I'm not an entertainer, so, you know, I don't know what that's like, but tell me how that feels for you to look out into an audience, a sea of people, and see them singing the words along to your songs back to you.
It is heavenly. It's so awesome. It's the best. It's the best feeling in the world, and I do it because I want to make people happy, and when I have the feeling, you know, it gives them good power and energy and empowers them. Oh man, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy, and then and I think, man, it's all worth it, because sometimes it always goes up and down. Sometimes it's very, you know, difficult, so it's not always like fun and easy. Sure. So when I see the fans, then I know it was all worth it, and I live for these moments with the fans, and then and every show could be the last show. That's how I see it, how I treat it. It could be a big show or a big festival or a small club. I always treat it like, you know, like everyone says, hey, you kill yourself, but it's worth it. It's worth it, you know.
I've never seen you give a bad performance ever. I just have to say that right now. Good. It's always been stellar.
That way,
Always stellar. So when is the new live album, the Triumph and Agony Live? When is it set to be released?
It's coming out September 24th in many formats, like marbled vinyl, biggest album cover in the world with the marbled vinyl, and the box sets, like with the figurines, the Warlock and me, and and of course CD and the Blu-ray, and so you can, as a collector, you can have nice things for your collection. And 24th of September, and I'm really excited. I hope everybody loves it, and yeah.
So tell me, Dora, where can the fans get the exclusive sets and the specialty items? Where's the best place to get that? From through your website or?
Oh, you know what? I think we have to put it on our website because, all the record stores, like there's so few record stores left, but I hope, of course, all the favorite record stores of the people and the metal stores, and I guess you can get it online or Amazon and stuff, but we will put it on our website as well, and it's DORO.us. Or the Facebook. We make sure that we put some stuff in, and
awesome, because I want to make sure everyone knows where they can get all the great stuff.
Good. Yeah, I will work on that, and but.
And I can't wait to get my hands on the other stuff, but the audio, just the album itself, which is what I've had a chance to preview, simply fantastic. Just a great job. Your live performance is again, your voice is just marvelous. It's so great because I know a lot of singers over time have a tendency to lose that edge a little bit, but I mean, you're still bringing the metal. It still sounds awesome, and I'm very impressed.
Good. That's the way it should be, and and I would love to make 20 more records, and as long as the fans like it, and I'm there. I'm totally dedicated. And so I'm in it for life, and that's
Well, you do not have the title. You do not have the title of Queen of Metal for nothing. So it really belongs to you, I think, and you've earned it. It's not something somebody just decided to christen you with just because I really think you've earned that title. So really looking forward to this new album. And again, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us at XS Rock. Like I said, it's always a pleasure when we get a chance to talk to you, and we'll be sure and spread the word on where to get the album and all the goodies that come with it.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much for your support, for all these kind words that moved me to tears, and I wish everybody the best, and stay metal, stay healthy. I hope I see everybody very soon on tour, on the festivals, and I hope they enjoy the Triumph and Agony live, and I'm sure they will. But
oh yeah, it's great. So I can't wait to try to catch you live, and hopefully we'll get a chance to speak again before too long. I'm sure, as busy as you are, you'll have another project coming out before long.
On a new record next year. We are working on a new album, so hopefully next year.
Great. I'm excited.
It's cool.
Wonderful. Good to hear. Well, thank you so much, Doro, and you have a wonderful day. All right.
You too. Take care. Okay.
All right, you too. All right. Bye-bye.
Ciao.